alcoholic bottles everywhere. This recent fight that they got into, she was screaming and yelling that I was a horrible, disgusting human being with diseases and that she should push me down the stairs because I'm going to die anyways. And he messaged me saying, I'm so sorry. And I turned that into the court that he said, I'm sorry that she treats you this way, everything for the last year. But he did nothing about it. When she was saying those things, he was loudly coming to my door, loudly.
Okay, ma'am.
Sorry.
Welcome back to the channel. Today's case is one of those tangled landlord-tenant disputes that's about so much more than unpaid rent. At first glance, it looks like a simple eviction hearing. But as soon as the defendant starts talking, it turns into a story about illness, disability, accusations of harassment, broken promises, and even the Wi-Fi password being weaponized. Yes, you heard that right, the Wi-Fi password. On one side, we've got the landlord pushing for possession of the property, saying rent hasn't been paid. On the other, we've got a tenant battling cancer, a rare neurological condition, and fighting to stay in her home. And caught in the middle? The judge, who has to balance the cold letter of the law with the very real human drama playing out in front of him. By the end of this video, you'll see how even something as straightforward as a rent dispute can spiral into a case full of emotional stakes, legal lessons, and shocking confrontations. So stick around, because this one gets heated.
Were you guys just renters?
Yes. I just
Okay. Okay, so why all the animosity? The complaint that's filed.
And yeah, Your Honor, I believe my clients too, in the end, are seeking more so an in rem judgment for possession of the property. If they're not able, I don't think this.
Well, okay, so let me just tell you that, well, who did all this? Okay, so your complaint and your notice don't match.
Okay.
So the demand or the notice to quit is for non-payment of rent.
Correct.
The complaint is for termination of tenancy.
What the judge is pointing out here is a huge technical error. The landlord's notice says non-payment of rent, but the complaint itself says termination of tenancy. Those are two completely different legal grounds for eviction. In landlord-tenant law, precision matters. If you file the wrong type of claim, the judge can throw out your case entirely. Think of it like trying to charge someone for speeding when the ticket says broken taillight. The facts don't match, so the case falls apart. The judge is basically giving the landlord's attorney a second chance here. File an amended complaint, fix the paperwork, and move forward. My question to you, do you think that was fair, or should the judge have dismissed it outright?
So here goes the other problem. You can correct by filing an amended complaint and then serving that amended complaint for non-payment of rent because I have the notice as a non-payment.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't work the opposite way because you can't give 30-day notice to allow me to proceed on that complaint. Or I can dismiss the whole thing out and it can start all over.
Yeah.
That was just my option.
Yeah, no, and when I discussed it with the clients, that was my original option. But I think, Your Honor, if you're saying that we're able to amend the complaint without having to redo the notice,
yes.
Then as far as time efficiency, I believe that's to the best benefit of my client.
So I think if you try to get that out today, it's going to have to be served, or at least there has to be a mailing, but it has to be served at least 3 days before the next hearing. So I can set this for the 18th. I do not have the 25th, correct?
Correct.
So I can set it for the 18th or August 1st.
It would have to be the 18th for me, Your Honor.
18th, very good. Then I'll adjourn this matter to July 18th, 2025 at 2 p.m.
And Your Honor, are we able to appear by Zoom for this one?
No.
In person? Thank you.
Why, where do you have to drive from?
Actually now just Michigan, but I also work in Chicago, so I'm actually back and forth quite a bit.
I don't care. No, I'm just kidding. If you submit the form, I'll take a look at it.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Make a decision on it. All right, thank you. You do the same. Court does call the case of Carl Schultz versus Sadie George.
Four, not George.
Yeah, but
Sorry.
I know I have to go by what it's under.
Where would you like me?
You're on that side. Go ahead, Counsel.
Good afternoon, Natalie Benici, appearing for plaintiff.
All right, and your name?
Sadie Gore.
Okay. All right, this is a termination case. And where are we on this?
Your Honor, you adjourned this 2 weeks. The defendant said she had some documents to submit to the court and myself that we were not served with. I have been provided a copy of the documents that she wanted to submit to the court. I don't believe the documents have any relevance to termination of attendance. So I asked them to proceed today with termination.
Go ahead, ma'am.
Sadie Gore, I moved into the house with Mr. Schultz about 2.5 years ago or so. I worked and I paid rent. I worked with a friend. I was never late. I ended up getting sick last year. I had cancer and I just been recently diagnosed with a rare neurological disorder. Him and his father both told me I could stay until I got my disability or I was able to pay. During that time, and there's been trouble since the day I moved in, Your Honor. I wrote the paper. I don't want to get too into it, but the defendant has a lot of issues with mental instability and psychosis. And I've helped him through that. Even when I was a paying tenant, he would come to my room and ask to look for hidden cameras. His sister can vouch for that. She's his lawyer. And she is his family. I broke my phone that had that information on it. However, during that time too, he did take another tenant by the name of Chelsea Pritchell. And I inquired with him because I couldn't walk at the time. I wanted to move to an upstairs room. And he said she was moving in and she's crazy and she doesn't know how long to stay. Since then, there's been nothing but loud arguments, fights.
This is where the case takes a dark turn. The tenant isn't just arguing about rent, she's describing a hostile living environment. According to her, the landlord's girlfriend called her a disgusting human being with diseases and even threatened to push her down the stairs. That's not just an insult, that's a potential assault threat. And the landlord's response? He texted, "I'm sorry," but took no action to protect her. Here's the kicker, even if she wasn't paying rent, tenants still have rights to safety and habitability. Imagine living in your basement while upstairs your landlord's girlfriend is threatening your life. Question for you guys. If you were the judge, would you focus on the unpaid rent, or would you take the harassment more seriously?
Alcoholic bottles everywhere. This recent fight that they got into, she was screaming and yelling that I was a horrible, disgusting human being with diseases and that she should push me down the stairs because I'm going to die anyways. And he messaged me saying, "I'm so sorry." And I turned that into the court that he said, "I'm sorry that she treats you this way everything for the last year." But he did nothing about it. When she was saying those things, he was loudly coming to my door, loudly.
Okay, ma'am.
Sorry.
Ma'am.
Sorry.
There is no lease, is that correct?
Correct.
All right. So go ahead.
Oh, I did file with the Disability Determined Services. They said it could be any day now. I did submit information that I've done that. I'm here with this. My doctor has to fill in a few more papers. I see him in a couple of weeks and I was going to ask him about that. But for right now, I literally have no place to live, 2 dogs, and a neurological disease that I'm waiting on disability papers or information from. I don't bother them since we've been in this litigation. It's been very quiet and peaceful. There was only one fight, and when I asked them to stop, they did. And they did not bring my name up.
All right. So let me ask this. Are the parties able to work out a move-out date or no?
I think that's completely up to defendant when she can move out. I mean, she hasn't paid rent.
No. But I mean, she's got, from what I can understand, certain circumstances where it's gonna be difficult for her to move immediately. I don't think. And I don't know if there's any leeway on the plaintiff's side to give additional time regarding a move.
The judge is now trying to mediate, basically saying, look, this woman clearly can't move overnight. Can we set a realistic move-out date? But here's the conflict. The landlord's side doesn't believe disability approval is coming anytime soon, while the tenant insists she's close to getting it. Disability approvals often take years, not weeks, so the landlord's attorney isn't wrong here. But let's step back. Is it reasonable to expect someone battling cancer and a neurological disorder to just pack up and leave within 30 days? Or is that asking the impossible? Drop a comment. Do you think the judge should lean toward compassion here, or stick to the letter of the law?
She told me in early May that she was expecting her disability in about 2 weeks, so that was in the middle of May. We're now into the middle of July, so these things take time, and she just applied for it. I don't anticipate her getting disability within a few months. Those take a couple of years.
I didn't
So
just file. I filed in September of 2025. They told me I'm on the last leg, and they're waiting.
September of 25?
September 25, September 20th of 25. Yes, and I have a letter here from May saying that they.
Well, hold on. That can't be right unless I just went into a time.
24, I'm sorry.
Thank you. All right, go ahead.
And they said they're just waiting on a few more things from my doctor, another one of my doctors. I never told her 2 weeks. I told her, they've told me 2 weeks, 3 months, January. I've heard all kinds of things from them, talking to them, but I have been keeping up with them. I have told her that I don't know, 3-4 months would be wonderful if they would give that to me. He told me that he can't let me stay because his girlfriend, the one that is in question, told him that she will leave. That is what he has told me several times. That she pays rent, so she gets the say.
Okay. So here's the question. How much time are you asking for?
4 months would be great.
4 months? Okay, I'm just gonna tell you realistically, that's not gonna happen.
90 days?
That there isn't, and just let me finish, I don't see in here a legal basis by which you can stay. Okay, so it's gonna come down to a point of you having to leave. And I usually prefer it if the parties can work that out, but if they can't, then I just make the call. So I try to ask the parties how much time let's make certain assumptions, okay? Let's make the assumption that your disability doesn't come through anytime soon. You may not have in your mind what exactly you will do, but you'd basically be having to try to figure out some contingency plan in case it doesn't happen. Okay.
And I have been, but it's been really hard to do anything with this court case because I've been trying to defend myself. So I haven't even, he went so far as to turning the Wi-Fi off. I can't even do surveys to get dog food money anymore or to look for places to live. If this wasn't going on and he had come to me and given me 2 months maybe, I would have been able to figure.
Were you guys just renters?
Yes. I just rented.
Okay, so why all the animosity?
I don't know. I have no idea. It's been in
Okay.
insane house since I moved in.
Okay. Is the Wi-Fi off?
I changed the password of the Wi-Fi because
Okay, so why?
I figured I gave her a month's notice to leave. She didn't leave.
Okay, but really, let me just ask you, where does that get you?
Now this is a fascinating moment. The landlord admits he shut off the Wi-Fi to make life harder for the tenant. But here's the problem. That's considered self-help eviction. In most states, landlords cannot legally cut off utilities, lock out tenants, or remove belongings to force someone to leave. It's not just frowned upon. It can actually trigger legal penalties against the landlord. The judge calls this out, warning that interfering with utilities could amount to an illegal lockout claim. So while the landlord thinks he's being clever by flipping the Wi-Fi switch, legally he may have just dug himself into a deeper hole.
I mean, you're gonna shut the Wi-Fi off to force her out?
I don't know, I'm not gonna make it comfortable for her to stay if she hasn't paid rent in 9 months.
For Pete's sakes. So you're gonna just try to force her out? You're just gonna make it uncomfortable and do?
I didn't try to force anything, that's why we're here.
Okay, so here's gonna be the problem, and maybe counsel, you can talk to your client. At certain points, regardless, well, she's got a legitimate tenancy for whatever it is, to the extent it is. When he begins to interfere with utilities and other things, that creates other problems for your client, which could amount to a lockout claim. I don't understand why he changed the Wi-Fi password. That makes no sense to me.
Can I say one more thing?
Your Honor, she sent him harassing text messages in the middle of the night. It was.
I accidentally clicked a smiley face on a message from years ago, and then he turned the Wi-Fi
This is
off.
a month-to-month tenancy at will. He's asking her to leave pursuant to MCL 554.134, it's paragraph 1. He will be willing to allow her to stay for 30 days. He will turn the Wi-Fi back on.
He's also unscrewed all the light bulbs, so I have to be in the dark downstairs and I have to stand on ladders in the dark. I have a neurological disease. I should not be standing on anything.
And just when you think this case can't get stranger, we hear allegations about the light bulbs. The tenant says the landlord and his girlfriend unscrewed all the light bulbs in her basement, leaving her in darkness despite her medical condition. The landlord denies it, but the tenant says she has proof in text messages. Whether true or not, this paints a disturbing picture of hostility. Let's be real, cutting Wi-Fi is bad enough, but removing light bulbs from a sick tenant's space? That borders on cruelty. I want to know what you think. Is this evidence of harassment or just petty household drama being dragged into court?
Every day they come down and unscrew the light bulbs.
That's a complete lie.
Did you do anything with the lights?
His girlfriend Chelsea does.
I didn't mess with the wall.
And I have proof from him messaging me saying that.
Can you get out in 30 days?
No, 60 days, 90 days. I mean, I don't know. I don't know about 30 days. I
Okay,
have-
remember what I said. There would be a time period. You're gonna have to figure out some contingency plan in case what you're hoping to happen
Yeah.
doesn't happen.
Well, my only plan is to have to move to Florida, and then I would lose all the doctors that I just became. You know, I have a group of doctors that are helping me. I have to move to Florida with my family. I would just, if I could just have a couple more months of not having stress on me. I've been sick for 2 years. It would be great to just not be harassed and just have a few moments to think. I can come up with a logical situation if it doesn't go through.
How long's the Wi-Fi been off?
2 weeks, I think, maybe a week and a half, 2 weeks.
Week and a half, yeah.
Here the judge delivers his ruling. Judgment for possession goes to the landlord, but the tenant gets extra time, until August 29th, to move out. That's more than the typical 30 days, and the judge explains why. Because the landlord tried to play games with the Wi-Fi. In other words, the landlord's own actions backfired, giving the tenant more time. The judge is also crystal clear, no more self-help. If the landlord tries shutting off utilities again, the court will come down hard. This is a reminder that landlords can win the legal battle and still lose extra ground if they take shortcuts.
He will turn the Wi-Fi back on and give her 30 days if the court wishes to appoint.
So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna issue a judgment for possession. I'm gonna give her a little bit longer than 30 days. I'm gonna make it August 29th, and part of the court's rationale in doing that is take the 30 days, plus you just shouldn't have been shutting off the Wi-Fi. You should not, part of this process, that being the court, is to let that process work. You should not resort to any type of self-help. Am I understood?
Yes. Your Honor.
So I will grant a judgment, finding no tribal issue. Court will grant a judgment to the plaintiff for possession of the premises. A writ would issue after August 29th, 2025. What's the setup of the premises so that I can sort of be clear on this?
It is a residential home and,
Okay.
she lives in the basement. He lives upstairs on the main floor. It's a, I guess, a one-story home. With
Gotcha.
a few bedrooms on the first floor, and then there's a basement with a bedroom, that the defendant lives in.
With huntsman spiders, I have an infestation right now, about 5, 10 of them. I woke up with one by my side of my bed.
Okay. What I'm gonna do is I'm going to do that. So the only portion of the premises that she occupies is the basement. Is that?
And the bathroom at the top of the stairs.
So I will sign a judgment to that effect, granting judgment for possession. With a writ date of August 29th. All right. So ma'am, that gives you the time in terms of your trying to find your contingency plan. It also admonishes you and puts you on fair notice that should a motion come back before this court that there is any type of self-help, then the court will take whatever remedies it deems necessary to protect what is or affects still now a tenancy. Understood?
Yes, understood, Your Honor.
I'll sign the judgment when you submit it.
Thank you very much.
So here's the bottom line. The landlord got what he wanted, a legal order for possession, but his behavior cost him time. The tenant, despite her medical struggles and emotional testimony, ultimately couldn't establish a legal right to stay. The judge walked the line between compassion and law, giving her until August 29th to figure out her next move. This case shows just how messy landlord-tenant disputes can become when personal conflicts, health struggles, and harassment claims all collide. What do you think? Was justice served here? Or should the judge have leaned harder one way or the other? If you found this case as shocking as we did, make sure to hit that like button, share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more jaw-dropping courtroom breakdowns.